Welcome to the 7th edition of Tackle Tuesday. Today we're going to have a look at the Corstorphine Heriot's Women's Premiership game and the Biggar and Melrose Men's National 1 game from the weekend. So some good clips and some really good clips from an educational point of view. So yeah, look forward to taking you through them. First of all, just wanted to give you an update on a bit of progress and some learnings and some feedback we're receiving from all parts of the game, coaches, referees, players, staff as well. So players are adapting well. I think the overriding message coming through is that whilst it's not all perfect and players are definitely making mistakes and decision making, which is expected, the players are adapting well, and thank you for to everyone in the game, schools, club, coaches, etc., for making sure that our players are well educated and well versed in the trials. So thanks for that. The tackle height is lowering. We're seeing evidence of that, and we've got statistical backups of that. And we were undertaking some research with the University of Edinburgh, so we'll have more data to share over the coming months. But tackle height is definitely lowering, which is a positive. The second tackler and arriving player decision making is certainly an area that is catching players out. I think the photo on the screen at the moment is a really good example of what a player is allowed to do. Obviously the primary tackler nice and low, making a low effective tackle, and the arriving player is allowed to rip the ball. Naturally, that ripping of the ball, if it's done at high speed or the player gets it wrong, can lead to shoulder or body contact on the ball carrier, which can then put them in a shared headspace, which obviously could lead to sanctions. So that's certainly a work on for players, which I think is a key message coming through from the whole game. We're also seeing quite a substantial amount of penalties from wingers, back three players getting caught in upright positions as a tackler in those wide channels. So that's something to keep an eye on, and we've got a clip of that in a moment. Okay, so moving on to some clips. First clip from the weekend. I said Corstorphine Heriot's game. Plays through. Okay, so what we've got here is obviously a low tackle by the primary tackler. So in this clip here, we've got a nice low tackle in there. It's the second tackler, the second arriving player coming in high. This situation is what we're seeing quite a lot, where she may be going for a rip of the ball, but mistimes that and ultimately makes contact above the base of the sternum. So therefore, is a sanctionable contact. So key messages here: that there's no mitigating circumstances. The ball carrier has remained relatively upright throughout, and that would be a penalty decision moving forward. Next clip. Okay, so this is the example that I mentioned earlier on about our back three players arriving at pace into a contact situation and arriving very upright. Now this upright situation here leads to this shared head space, which is exactly what we're trying to avoid. Now, although there is a potential for this to be a penalty only, obviously if you look at the replay, there is head contact and above the line of the shoulder made there, and this is where we need to be working with our players, especially in these wide positions, to control their pre-tackle footwork, arrive in a much more balanced position, a much lower position, in order to make an effective tackle there. So in this situation here, this would be a head contact process. So that would obviously infer a yellow-red card potential in that situation, as contact has been made above the line of the shoulder and there has been head contact. Good example of players adapting well in this clip. This is the Biggar versus Melrose game from the weekend. Just look at the Biggar number 7 here in the black, making a really effective tackle. So really good example of the Biggar 7 here, getting nice and low, good pre-tackle footwork, gets nice and close to the ball carrier. Obviously head to the side, and makes a really effective leg tackle, which obviously gives the opportunity for his teammates to potentially challenge for ball. He also completes that tackle really nicely by getting out the way early of the scrum half and getting in line. So really good example of tackle technique there. Let's go to the next clip, which is the final clip for this Tackle Tuesday, which looks at the ball carrier dipping. So let's play this through. Okay, so in this situation here, I'll just pause it here. We've got a low tackle, two tacklers attempting to go low. And in our Scottish Rugby law trials, we're not penalising the ball carrier for altering their body height. So the bigger ball carrier here is permitted to obviously drop their body height. From a situation of what we would do sanction-wise here, this would be play on. The ball carrier has dipped, which means that's the mitigating circumstance, which means that the initial contact above the base of the sternum that we see from the tackler here is mitigated down to play on. The tackler has attempted to make a low tackle, they've got in a low position, and if the ball carrier had been upright, that would have been a below sternum tackle. So we're comfortable there, and that would be play on. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Just a wee reminder of the remaining tackle workshops that we've got going on over the next couple of weeks. On the screen at the moment, you can sign up via Scrums, and then just a link to the QR code to take you to the Tackle Height Hub, which has all of the previous Tackle Tuesdays videos as well as other resources. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll speak again next week. Thank you.